Parent Pharmacy Federation, powered by researchers for emerging innovations. Hi, I'm Meeni Shiv, Director Content and Creativity of Parent Pharmacy Federation. If you're looking for publishing periodicals or journals related to the pharmaceutical research, or if you're seeking to bring together pharmaceutical researchers on a single platform to discuss various issues related to the pharmaceutical industry, then OPF is the right place for you. Parent Pharmacy Federation, or OPF, is the international professional body of pharmacists engaged in various facets of the profession of pharmacy. OPF is committed to promote the highest professional and ethical standards of society, establish the image of pharmacists as competent healthcare professionals, sensitize the community, government, and others on various professional issues, and support the education in all aspects. We are both research-based and community-based. We are an online-based scientific multidisciplinary community in the pharmaceutical sciences, biomedical, drug discovery, and life sciences fields. We deal with publishing research papers, theses, dissertations, abstracts, reports, monographs, case studies, and others on a regular basis. You can also get information about the various opportunities available within the pharmaceutical industry by gaining insights from the pharmacists who represent a plethora of practice settings. We also provide our members with extensive scholarships and awards program content, recognizing members for involvement in the Federation, for leadership, academic success, and grassroots. Other than that, we advise to make the best use of the education opportunities that are specifically designed to enhance the knowledge by keeping it updated with the latest information and path of innovation. Other objectives with regards to information efficiency, research, and publish includes provision of information related to job openings and fellowships for pharmacy researchers, to spread the familiarity with the pharmacy profession and training and research in the general public by organizing different camps, seminars, conferences, meetings, courses, workshops, and so on, to make the research papers accessible to the individuals over the web, and to distribute the magazines and periodicals identified with community pharmacy, pharmacy education, research, and health sciences. So why should you choose OPF? OPF offers participation in workshops. We are highly indulged in participating in different workshops, seminars, and conferences. Also, we motivate our members in participating in such programs to enhance the skill sets. We also provide a number of membership benefits. After joining OPF, you can avail a wide range of membership benefits at cost-effective rates. Enroll today and get access to the genuine and quality-based journals. Further, we are also involved in specialized research studies. We at OPF are always ready to embrace and get involved in the logical and specialized research activities, along with investigations and trial on various fields of pharmaceutical and other allied sciences. Then, we also give and offer career options. OPF is always ready to help its members in choosing the best career options in the pharma and biomedical industry. You can get all genuine information related to the job openings and fellowships in the same. Our aim is to get connected with millions of readers, and our conferences bring together internationally renowned speakers and scientists to create exciting and memorable memories filled with live interactions, world-class exhibitions, and poster presentations.
A very warm good afternoon to all present here. Today we have Dr. Paresi Dave as a panelist for the third session of the International IPR Treaties and Conventions. And today we having speaker with us, Alistair Chan. He is the founder of ADC Patent Research New Zealand. And now I request to Dr. Paresi Dave to continue the session.
Very warm welcome to all the participants and welcome to Alistair Chan, my friend. So before I start, I would like to introduce our online certificate course, what we are offering. So in the June 9th, we had started this first course, online course, certificate course on patent searching, and we have received very huge response for this one. And around 480 plus participants have completed the course, and 1100 plus registrations have done. And this encourages us to offer these online certificate courses without any charges to uh, young participants to know about the intellectual property rights. So this course we are offering with the help of IP Moment Services and Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Computer Education and Applied Sciences, which is NAC recognized institute located at the Surat. So now we had started just 4 days back new online certificate course on international next slide international intellectual property rights treaties and conventions. So these courses are coordinated by myself, Dr. Paresh Dave. So I am founder of IP Movement and IPR for Society, which is NGO organization, and Dr. Ratna Trivedi. So she is head of the Department of Environmental Sciences from SRKI. And we have one more coordinator with us, Dr. Jay Bargi. So he is head of the department from Department of Biotechnology. So we three are the coordinator of these courses, and we are offering these courses with the help of IP Movement Services and SRKI, which is a short form of Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Computer Education and Applied Sciences. So allow me to introduce little bit about the SRKI. So SRKI is the established and developed with donations from many organizations. One of them is Sri Ramakrishna Charitable Trust, which is located at the Surat in Gujarat. By providing solid academic foundations, the rigorous curriculum, it prepares students to successfully complete their program. Student will study in the state of the art laboratories and lecture rooms, and they have good facilities and faculties also, which are helping students to complete their courses. The institute is affiliated to Veer Narmad South Gujarat University since 1999 for all the courses, time to time till today. It has already been accredited by National Assessment and Accreditations Council, which is short form is NAC, is very well recognized as B grade with 2.67 CGPA, and by AAA, so which is also KCG Government of Gujarat organization in 2015 with 2.92 on 4-point scale. So these institutes is very well renowned, and it provides the good education in the applied sciences and computer education field. So now we also like to thank our collaborator, Operant Pharmacy Federation Management, and Vikram Chaudhary. With the help of Vikram Chaudhary and Operant Pharmacy Federation, we are bringing these live webinars, and we are also coordinating with many students who are the member of OPF. So I thankful to Vikram Chaudhary and management of OPF. So you might be, many of you might be connected with us since we started last week our IP web series. Because our aim is that when we provide our online courses and online materials is also there, at the same time, we also bring to you the eminent speakers and IP experts who are having experience for more than 10, 15 years, and they can deliver a talk and they can uh, expand your knowledge, and you can learn a lot. So in this way, last week we started our first week, and we had 3 sessions on July 27th, 28th, and 29th. So you might have attended uh, these webinars. If you have not attended, then once you join the course, you can see that materials of these already completed webinars, as well as the video of these is available on YouTube channel of OPF. So last week on 27th, Harsita Vasanti, she delivered an excellent talk on Berne Convention. And on July 28th, our friends Jitendra Kumar Sharma, he delivered a talk on Madrid Protocol. On 29th July, I delivered a talk on Patent Cooperation Treaty. So last week we had 3 webinars, and this week also we are organizing 3 webinars. In this series, we had yesterday our friend Nabendu Bhattacharji from Bangladesh. So he delivered an excellent talk on TRIPS agreement, and we also received very good response. And day before yesterday, I also delivered a talk on uh, uh, I also delivered a talk on how one can register, uh, uh, these microorganisms, and how these microorganisms one needs to submit to the International Depository Authority. So I discussed about this, and next week we are going to have 3 more webinars, and I am finalizing the speaker of next week, and we have received the approval and permission from Dr. Roon Jun Tan. So she is going to deliver a talk on international IPR treaties and convention, and she is one of the core team, is the head of the IPR cell at the Lovely Professional University. So you might be knowing that Lovely Professional University, they have filed highest number of patent applications last year, and in 2018 from Indian patent application they have filed. So during that time, and still now, Dr. Runjun Tandon is a IPR head of Lovely Professional University. So she is going to deliver a talk on August 11th at 5 p.m. And now, today, I would like to introduce our today's speakers, Dr. Alistair Chan. So, who Alistair Chan is? Founder of this ADC patent search. This is located at the New Zealand. Alistair is a New Zealand-based intellectual property research and analyst. With a background in scientific research, he has over 17 years of vast experience in the IP field. He has also worked with corporate environment and in the IP services sector. Having supported clients all over the world, he has extensive experience conducting and delivering a full range of IP search and analytics projects. Alistair has also regularly raised IP awareness through the delivery of various training seminars and programs. So on behalf of our organizing committee, IP Movement Services, and SRKI and OPF, I thank to Alistair for accepting our invitation and today presenting, this excellent talk. So today he is going to present a talk on one of the international treaties. And because of time difference also, in New Zealand there is a night time, but still he agree with us and he is here with us. So I welcome and I thank to Alistair Chan, because I remember just 2-3 days back I had read the news about new continent as already worldwide, new continent has eighth continent, we called eighth continent Zealandia. It's recognized. So I am very proud to have you, our friend, from the new continent Zealandia, our friend Alistair Carson. Please, Alistair, you can start presentation.
Okay, thanks very much, Paresh. Let me try and share my screen. So hopefully you can all see my screen now. And firstly, thank you very much to Paresh for that introduction. And good afternoon to everyone, wherever you may be watching this presentation. Today's...
Sir, your screen is not visible.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Your screen is not visible. Can you click on share screen? Yes, sir.
It's coming up. So yes.
So am I good to go?
Yes, your screen. Yes, first slide is on.
Okay. Apologies to everyone for the mistake there. But yes, thank you to Paresh, and good afternoon to everyone. Today's presentation, I'm going to talk about the Hague Agreement for the international registration of industrial designs. Now, Paresh has already introduced myself, but as he said, I'm based here in New Zealand. I've been working in IP research for over 17 years now, and my company, ADC Patent Search, basically conducts a whole range of intellectual property-based research to help throughout the IP lifecycle within any business, answering such questions as how can I protect my ideas through to am I free to sell my product, as well as more in-depth competitive intelligence, identifying competitors, collaborators, and opportunities. To say that's the background that I bring to this this presentation. Now, as was mentioned, this entire series of webinars is looking at a range of intellectual property conventions and treaties. And for those of you who are attending all or most of them, you'll become aware of a whole range of different intellectual property rights. And I just wanted to cover very briefly the key IP rights so that you understand where industrial designs fit in. The four rights that I've put on the screen here, in the top left, we have patents, which protect products or processes, what we call inventions. Registered trademarks, which protect commercial reputation and goodwill, in other words, a company's brand. Copyright, which protects the expression of ideas, which could be books, musical works, works of art, software, and the like. But what we're interested in the seminar today are industrial designs. These protect the appearance of the whole or part of a product and its ornamentation. So whereas a patent will protect how a product functions, how it works, a design protects what it looks like. So this protection will cover both the three-dimensional features of a product, as well as two-dimensional aspects such as patterns, lines, colors, and contours. There are a couple of examples here. We have an example of a smartphone design on the middle left, and next to that is an example of a design that would protect seating that you might find in an aircraft or a train. Industrial design protection gives you the exclusive right to use that design either within the set of products that you've defined or more broadly, depending on where you've, what country you're in. And typically, a design will last for 25 years from the time that you file your application, although this can be different in certain territories, and we'll be discussing that a bit later. The key thing to note in the bottom right here is that, like many types of intellectual property, industrial designs are territorial, which means that you will only get protection in those countries where you apply for design protection. And this then leads to the benefits of having an international system that will allow you to file in multiple countries, if particularly if you need to get your business needs to get protection in a lot of different territories. So the Hague Agreement for the International Registration of Industrial Designs is a global filing solution that saves businesses both time and money. It allows one international application managed through a single office that enables applicants to obtain a bundle or a set of national design rights. The legislation behind the Hague Agreement has been around for nearly 90 years now. It's quite an established set of laws. Began back in 1934 with the London Act, and there have been a number of international acts and treaties that have been developed and signed over the years that will lead to the agreement and the system that exists today. So there are, I say, a number of acts, as you can see. There are also regulations and administrative instructions that all apply to the overall agreement. But what has happened as time has gone on is that certain acts have become less relevant, new acts have come into play, countries have signed up to some or all of the treaties, and this has meant that some of the legislation is no longer utilised or no longer in force. And as we stand today, there are two key acts, the Hague Act of 1960 and the Geneva Act of 1999, which are the two key pieces of legislation and treaties that apply for applicants wanting to use the Hague system. A key thing to understand about the Hague Agreement is that it is two separate international treaties, and these operate autonomously and independently of each other. Although they have very similar wording and provisions, there are differences which I will speak about a bit later. It's also important to note that you need to think very much about the countries that are signed up to which act as to whether or not you can actually use the Hague Agreement effectively. So if a country is only signed up to one act, it can only use the Hague system to protect designs in other countries that are also signed up to that particular act. So if we look on the left of the screen, let's say that we are operating in country A and we are signed up to the Hague Act, but country A is not signed up to the Geneva Act on the right. If we have business activities that we're seeking protection in countries A, B, C, and D, we can use the Hague system through the Hague Act to get an international application for countries A, B, and C. But because country D, over on the right, is only signed up to the Geneva Act, we can't use this system to apply in country D, and we may have to make a separate national application there. So the key take home from this slide is that you're dealing with two separate treaties, and you need to bear that in mind when making an application, deciding where you're based and where the countries are that you want to operate. Now, this slide gives you a visual indication of the countries that are currently signed up to the Hague Agreement, to either the Hague Act or the Geneva Act. There are a total of 74 contracting parties at the moment, covering 91 separate countries, and the link in the little orange box will take you through to the document at the World Intellectual Property Organization that will give you the full details of which countries are currently covered. Don't worry about the various colors on the map here. The key point to take home is where there is no blue or green are those countries that are not signed up. So at the moment, quite a large proportion of the globe isn't a signatory to either of those two countries. And this includes a lot of South America, much of Africa, parts of Southeast Asia and Oceania. There will still be mechanisms and ways of obtaining design protection within those territories, but another take home from the presentation is that the membership of this system is still relatively limited. So what is the application process and the requirements if you wanted to file an international application for designs in multiple countries using the Hague system? Firstly, you, as an applicant, need to satisfy one of three requirements. The first is that you need to be a national of a contracting party, i.e. be a citizen, or you need to be domiciled in a contracting party, so that's essentially where you're based for tax purposes, or you need to have a real and effective industrial or commercial establishment in a contracting party, so your business needs to have a functioning office. And both the Hague Act and the Geneva Act have these three requirements. Also, under the Geneva Act, if you have a habitual residence in a contracting party, so that you're eligible to be resident and you are there for a certain period of time as an individual, then you can qualify as an applicant. But that's again only under the Geneva Act. So this comes back to what I mentioned earlier about there being two treaties and understanding which treaty, either or both, that you're actually following through the application process. When you want to file an international application, you can file in one of three languages: English, French, or Spanish, and all of the process is managed directly at the International Bureau in Geneva at the World Intellectual Property Organization. And you can file either directly with the International Bureau or indirectly through your own intellectual property office, although it will be managed at the IB. You must submit one or more reproductions of your design, so the application shows what it is you are seeking to protect. And another key benefit of the Hague system is that you can file up to 100 different designs within the same Locarno classification in a single application. For those who aren't aware, the Locarno classification scheme, I've summarized it on this slide. It's 32 classes describing a whole range of products that you may wish to apply for design protection for, and these you usually specify with your application as the primary type of product that you want your design to protect. In many cases, this is simply a part of the filing process and so the basic description of your design. And depending on the country that you're in, it may also limit the scope of your application, but that's you will need to look at that for each individual territory separately. But let's say, for example, you were your design was for some kind of tool. It would go into class 8 here. And as I mentioned on the previous slide, with just a small increase in the fees, you can apply through the Hague system to put up to 100 separate designs in one application, provided they all go into the same classification here. Another benefit of the Hague system is that there is a single set of fees. Now, this is made up of a number of different sub-fees. There's a basic fee, a fee for publication, a fee for designating each territory that you want to operate in, and small additional fees for each additional design within the same class. But you will know upfront what your fees will be, and that will be a single set for the entire international application. Once you've made your application, it will undergo a formalities examination at the International Bureau. So they will check that the application has been made correctly, using the correct forms. All the formalities around the application will be looked at, and provided that you've done everything correctly, then it will pass and will be recorded in the register and then published in the official bulletin 6 months after it has been registered. Now, it is possible for business reasons to apply for deferment of publication, just to keep your design out of the public domain for certain strategic reasons if you wanted to. Under the Hague Act of 1960, you can apply for a deferment of up to 12 months. And under the Geneva Act of 1999, you can apply for a deferment of up to 30 months. So this is another difference between the two treaties that it's worth being aware of. After this stage, each of the contracting states that you have designated will conduct their own substantive examination of your design according to their own local laws. So this will be looking at whether the design is novel, whether it's original, it meets the various other criteria as defined in local law. And if it's refused by any of those states, then the International Bureau will be notified and it won't proceed further in those states. Otherwise, your application will enter into force in each of the contracting states that you designated. And although from that stage and going forward, everything will be managed by the International Bureau, it will be governed by the domestic law of each state, each country where you've successfully obtained protection. As I've said, for renewals and the overall duration of your international design, which is now a bundle of rights that you're holding in separate states, but they're all managed separately at the International Bureau WIPO, you will get an initial 5-year term of protection, and you will have the option to renew this every 5 years up to a maximum of 25 years in most countries. A few countries have shorter durations for industrial designs. In some places it's 10 years, in others it's 15. And this is just something that you need to be mindful of and do that research up front as to how long you can expect your design to last in those countries where you're seeking protection. So I've covered the basics of the Hague Agreement. Just want to summarize with the pros and cons of the system And I'm going to start with the disadvantages so that we finish the webinar on a positive note. If you remember back to the map that I showed, a key feature of the Hague Agreement is that it's not totally global, certainly when compared with other intellectual property treaties. However, the membership, although it's limited, is growing as new countries sign up to one or both of the existing treaties. It is two separate treaties, the Hague Act and the Geneva Act, and you need to be mindful of which countries, including where you're applying from and where you want to apply protection in, which of those are signed up to which treaty, and also the subtle differences between the two treaties, which may have an impact on the strategies that the IP strategies that your businesses follow. Now, the next point, you can look at it as a positive, but by having this international mechanism, you take local representatives out of the process of applying for protection in other countries. And whereas that may save you some costs, what it does mean is that by default, you don't have your local representative automatically there advising you as to how to work with design law in that particular country. So it may require that if you go down the route of using the Hague Agreement, you will require a greater knowledge of local laws in all the other jurisdictions that you are applying for protection in. So you need to be aware of that. It's still be up to you as the applicant to be aware of what the law is, and so still keeping that your local agent or representative within the loop just through other forms of communication is potentially quite valuable in making sure that you don't make any mistakes. The advantages of the Hague Agreement are, firstly, its simplicity. Rather than having to apply for protection in multiple countries using multiple different application systems, you can now make a single international application that will lead to this bundle of national design rights. Everything is handled in one language, the language that you specify from the beginning. So you don't need to worry about handling different national design applications in different languages, and you will have one set of fees in one currency. So again, you'll be able to manage your budgets much more effectively. This makes it a much more cost-efficient process, particularly for larger applications. And as I mentioned, you'll be working with one office, the International Bureau at WIPO. This will be for your filings, your renewals, the examinations, any administrative changes. So if you need to change names and assignments later on, all of this will be conducted throughout the lifetime of the right through that single office. So this saves or improves efficiencies within businesses by avoiding having to monitor multiple renewal deadlines and so on. And just makes the whole process a lot more efficient. And finally, as I mentioned, you have the ability to file multiple designs in a single application, provided they're all within the same Locarno classification or applying to the same type of product. So again, this is another cost and efficiency benefit of the system. So I put on this slide some links back to a number of useful pages on the WIPO website about the Hague system itself, the various treaties, and the Locarno classification system. So I'd recommend you go and take a look at those, and you can learn more and delve into a bit more depth as to how the system works and what it can do for you and your businesses. So that concludes the presentation on the Hague Agreement for the International Registration of Industrial Designs. I'd like to thank you all very much for your time and your attention.
So, thank you, Alistair, for wonderful lecture, and you covered very well, this Hague Agreement, and you have explained very simply, in the simple language, uh, what is Hague Agreement and what are the difference between Geneva Agreement and Hague Agreement, and what are the precautions and cautions the applicant must take care. So, and you have also gone through the process of application filing and renewals, etc. Also, so I really thankful to you for giving this wonderful talk. And to the audience, if they have any questions or queries, you can put these after this session is completed. You can put it in comment section of the YouTube link, and I will try to answer your queries over there. So because of time, constraints, we are not going to have the question answer sessions for a long time. But however, I would like to add few points here related to this Design Act 2000. So in India, we call it a design registrations. As the Alistair has explained, the Hague Agreement is related to design registrations. So in India, we call it design registrations, and United States, they call it design patent. So the way they are differentiating is different. The main purpose is same, that ornamental look of your any design is protected under this design registration. And if I just give you hint that in India we have the Design Act 2000. So this Design Act 2000 is relates to the design registration in India, and we have one design registration office in Kolkata. So we have only one office for design registration, and that is in Kolkata. However, all these intellectual property right offices are coming under the one organization, and that governed by the Ministry of Home Ministry. Sorry, DIIT. So it's Department of Promotion of Industrial and Intellectual Property. So this DPIIT department is administering all these intellectual property rights related registrations in India. And patent offices are located at 4 places, and design office is only located at the Kolkata office. So whenever you file any design applications in India, it will go to the design office at Kolkata, and they will process your application. And now design registration in India, we also have facility to apply online, and also we can file, reply to the objections online also. Renewal fees, etc. also you can pay online. So about the design registration. And again, I thankful to Vikram and OPF management for giving this opportunity and organizing these webinars. And I also thank, Alistair Carson for joining us and delivering a wonderful lecture. And if you have any queries related to IPR course, you can get connect with me on the LinkedIn or Facebook, and I will try to answer your queries over there. Thank you all for joining today. And
Thank you,
Vikram
Mr.
has any
Alistair,
message he can
for
convey as well.
joining with us. One basic questions asked from our audience. Uh, Let me check. I thought we must have to give the answer of that question. This question from Venki Vedavali. May I know what is the use of this conference? So, where the students can apply this use of the knowledge of this conference?
Yeah, so I can give that answer, because
Yeah.
intellectual property rights, if you are students and if you are youngsters, then you must know about the intellectual property rights. So intellectual property rights is a huge field now, and if any country wants to build their economy and they wanted to grow their business and economy, they should know and they should follow the intellectual property rights. So that is different aspect, but in short I can say that simple way I can explain to you that nowadays, if you do any degree, whether it's engineering or whether it's science degree or whether it's pharmacy degree, but many people, they do the management study because MBA, business management study, diploma or degree, they do it because they wanted to go in the professional life, and they said that you require to have management knowledge about. So whatever role you are going to play in future, you must know about how to manage it. So in similar fashion, whatever you are going to do in future, you must know about the intellectual property rights. So our aim is that if you are a youngster, then from the beginning, you should know about these intellectual property rights, what different types of IPRs are there, what different types of international treaties and conventions are there. And we are also conducting, in detail, like online course we provided for patent searching. So now we are going to offer for patent drafting, etc. So all these intellectual property rights information one must know if they wanted to build their career in any of the technical domain. So this is going to help you in future also. So any economy or any society, if they wanted to go further and if they wanted to progress, then they must adopt, intellectual property rights and respect the IPR for that one. And for you as a participant, as a youngster, you must know about the IPRs in more detail. So this is our aim of delivering these IP web series and webinars and these courses.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for explaining to audience because lots of audience not knowing about this, so they must be know about that. And one important announcement for all the audience: we are having a technical fest competition for all the students who are studying in different universities, college across the globe. There will be a competition. In that competition, video making competition will be there, e-quiz will be there, and extempore competition will be there, e-poster competition will be there. And for more information you can visit the website, that is pharmanesia.org, that is showing on your screen. You can take the screenshot for now, and later part of you can visit the website and you can register yourself for the upcoming events. And there is a financial support from the Operant Pharmacy Federation. We will be give the case prize money to top 10 winners. Not only first and second winner, we will be giving top 10 winners the prize money. So you will be must go through that website, that is www.pharmanesia.org, pharmanesia.org. Everybody can register for the these competitions, and you will be get a chance to be a winner. And there is 1 week of webinar series will be there. So expert speaker will be giving talk on the various topic on the related to COVID-19. Thank you, Alistair Curson, for joining with us and sharing your wonderful knowledge on the designs part.
You're welcome.
Parsa,
Thank you.
Parsa, now we are going for banding.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Alistair.
Thank you.
Develop abroad in over 75 countries while keeping market share.
And we will keep in touch.
Maximize benefit from innovation. Boost competitiveness and prevent counterfeiting. Use the Hague system, the International Registration Service for Industrial Design. Register up to 100 industrial designs around the world. Registration is a simple procedure. A single request, a single form, single currency and language. Manage your portfolio in real time. Access tools online for electronic registration and renewal, automatic fee calculation, the weekly Industrial Designs Bulletin, and the Hague System database. The Hague System is accessible, easy, and economical.